All right, Randy, and guess to the general manager that I don't know what your name is, and you haven't emailed me, so I don't know. But I'm trying to really work this with y'all. Like I said, instead of having to go through all these complaints, 2 complaints, and then go through an attorney and this and that, just to try to get y'all to do it correctly. It wasn't done correctly. Like I told you in the last video, I found that this was cut off. This piece of my ductwork was cut off. And that would have made this come all the way pretty much up to here. Then you could have done what this was supposed to do and put a step down, and those 2 would have met, and you would have done that. And like when you first came here, you knew exactly what was going on, what type of furnace it was, everything. It was a low boy, you said, which is called a horizontal furnace. And return came up that side, and the supply came up this side and connected it over there and connected it over there. Well, like I told those, Michael and them, both of them, I wasn't happy with this or that over there, the vent not getting any heat in the bedroom, which Brandon actually went and felt and seen that there was no heat up coming barely through there. This, he didn't know and kind of didn't understand why it was like this and if it was restricted or not. And so he waited for Michael, the guy that does the work, to do it. And he pretty much told me that it should have been a 12, and he actually had it marked, but this is what they gave him for some reason. But they ordered the 12, and it's supposed to come, but, and then later, none of their parts came. They didn't have anybody that would bring them. They needed more material, but nothing came, and they were told just to pretty much work with what they had, which didn't make them happy. But I was told that he couldn't put it from here to here and like maybe make some fins to make the air pressure, make the air kind of push it to go up there and to go to the house. He didn't really know what the fin meant, to do a fin type thing inside, or 3 of them, to push the air flow going that way. So he put it this way, which is going to make the airflow restricted and come up here, try to go all different ways until it does go over there to over that way. That is restrictive. I'm not getting heat all the way to the back room. Okay. Then I'll come over to here. I'm not getting proper heat to my living room, really, because of the way this whole thing is. So it's different heat in different places, it feels like. This is not correct because on a 3-way T, I've been told, you should be coming straight down. Reason being is that's the way that the airflow is. It comes and comes in a straight down position. So you want the air to be just like that. You would want this drop down, rectangular drop down to come it's 10 inches to be 5 inches will be directly in the middle with that. Then you can make not one that looked like this, but one coming to like that at an angle. That would suck it completely down, and I'll show you a picture of it. So it would have to be moved over to be correct. That's not my fault. It's not like I'm trying to design something. I want better flow. There's not enough return in a lot of the rooms. And this is not right. He cut this out after they were working real late, almost 12 hours. They were doing it, still couldn't even get that other side right. I'll show you that in a second. As soon as he cut it out and he had that, he's like, oh, well, probably didn't need to cut it out anyway. Oh, what a damper's for anyway. And I try to tell him, well, to cut the, air off, I know what it's for and this and that. Yeah, I probably could have kept it and just angled it or something like that, and more of the air would have went up there. Because I had took his one technician and showed him, Brandon, that there was barely no air coming to the vent. And if you look, it just moves up and down. It was leaking. Even before they put all this tape, the tape won't hold because it's all dirty because they didn't wipe it off before they put the tape. This hole is extremely too big, which they should have just made a piece of metal, and then made this to correct hole for one of these, and then put the metal back over this, sealed it up, and then put this on there and seen how much more air came to it. But I'm still not getting the correct air. They cut this off, which should have just been screwed up just like this, and it would have brought it over to there. They could have then put one of those step downs, but a 16-inch instead of a 20, and put it right to there. These would have came, and it would have came over with a 3-way T, and that was original or now, and then went from here with a sweeping turn, radius sweeping turn, another radius sweeping turn, and they would have went right into the 3-way and went straight on down into the furnace. Same way here, except it would go into the plenum. Okay? So like I said, they did not check the static pressure or anything. You're supposed to check from the return and the supply. They did not check that to see if it's right, to see if this thing's being restricted. They cut that out. Now I'm getting too much heat, and if I come down here and if I cut the bathroom off, and even that bathroom off, then my bedroom's blazing. All because they did not do it correctly. And that is not my fault. Okay? Like I showed you before, here's the original. Well, I'll show you now. Here's the original. It's a horizontal. Okay, so the return would have went up that way just like it is, and then the supply would have came up just like this. It would have came up though, and then went right on over, and then connected into the existing ductworks. So pretty much, just like now, there's the top of the plenum, there's the side of the plenum, right there where the outlet is, and you would make a piece to go here, to go to a 3-way T, to come over to here, a sweeping radius turn, and then connect it with ductwork to there, and a step up, and the new damper that he cut out and threw away. And this is all, and that's already all there. That's existing ductwork. So this is pretty much what you told me after I did it, what the $7,000 would be to do. And to get this straight, to bring it back. This is better for flow. Right here, a radius one. Not just one going at an angle. And definitely not one going like this for a 3-way turn. That's the better way for a 3-way turn. Because then it would suck all the air that way from both of them. Much easier on the furnace and everything, and easier to get the air. So I don't know if the blower needs to be turned up or what to get better thing for that, but it's definitely the wrong setup, and that's why it was cut wrong. That's why the damper was cut out. That's why I'm not getting air in the right places. And you came in and you told me, look, it's going to be right. Our people have been doing this for over 30, 40 years, this and that. Look at all the stars that we have. If you're not satisfied, then I'm not satisfied. This gets crazy that I need to keep saying all this, but, it's not done right. I'm not getting the good heat in the bedroom because of obviously what they did. And I thought you would know. You said it was this long, so the supply would be over here. That would have made it so you could have easily came over to there and then over to there and attached some ductwork. Put a 3-way T, just like that's on the return, right there. And you would have brought it to right here. Or if it was original, it would have went right on down and then came up. And the 3-way T would have been up, just like it is over there for the return over there. And then you would have connected them all. It makes much more sense. This is just kind of, I can't believe we can't even work on something where you'll bring this over, maybe bring this out, bring one out of here, and do a sweeping turn to come to that one. So that way the air at least goes all the way to the correct of the house there. Then maybe, one to come over there to meet this one on the side to get some air too from there. Or to come down here and to go in there and put my new damper in. Something much cheaper than, you said you would give me the $800 back. If I was to do my design, well, that can't be $800 some dollars to try to figure something out to bring that. It's actually not hard, because if you brought the thing back like it was supposed to, then you could easily bring this and do a sweep and turn, come right in there with another type of one of these pieces of ductwork coming right out the plenum, and then bring that one too and bring it down and going into there, or going into the box right here. It's just, this is just not a right, you promised me that it would be satisfied. I was going to go through lines or you, and you were pretty much, look, I don't know, how good they are or what, but I know how big we are and how long the people have been doing it, and that they're good people, and that they're going to, it's going to be done right. Look what I had to put on there, in order to keep the heat that he's got, and it still brings the heat out of there. It just wasn't looked at right by either you telling them how to do it, or them coming here, like I said, and they were flabbergasted, like, we don't have enough material. They went out in the truck for 10, 15 minutes, finally came back in here and said, well, we're going to start it on up, just get it on in here and just get heat going in the house. We're going to do as much as they can. They're going to bring us some more supplies in the middle of the day. Well, it came to be about 2 or 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and nothing came. No more materials came. They called, and finally the person said, look, we don't have anyone to come. Do what you got to do with what you got. And that's what they did. So, no static pressure check. Didn't check any of these things in the installation checklist, which they should have checked the duct static pressure. All these other things they should have checked. They did not check it. There's other checklists inside here. I think 1 or 2. But they're supposed to do a temperature rise check too, and come over to here to see how it's actually performing and everything, to make sure that it's right. To determine if the airflow is correct, make a temperature rise check. So they haven't done any of that. He put that inside there and said, oh, that's for the other people. No, it's for the other people, but so they know what you've done, and it's for you, so you have something saying, hey, this is what I've done. And, you can't say that I didn't. And, like I said, they still just didn't put the thing there. I would think they would have put a coupling on the outside and would have screwed it to the thing so the stuff couldn't at least move some, up and down too much. And then maybe put some of like these, but longer, up there to kind of hold them or something to the wood so they wouldn't move back and forth, but because they move outside too. But that's fine, I guess. You don't answer me about anything once I said that, and you said this is my own design, pretty much that's my own design. No, that's the way it should have been. Period. And it's not $7,000 worth of ductwork, Randy. Come on. That is not $7,000 worth of ductwork. Don't try to get me with that. You came here to do a job, and a job is just not when you put a furnace in, it's just not to put it in and just make sure they got heat. And that was a lie from, DHS told me that. They've written that down in their computer that you said that. Just to put minimal ductwork. That is not true, and you're not contracted through them. I was contracted through you. Only thing y'all are to them is to be able to accept, to receive their payments that they give you. But it's me that has to do all this, and now you've gotten me. So this is not good. The system is not right if now you can't even use it correctly. What happens if that one was pouring a lot of heat? Then I wouldn't even be able to shut it down.